is Stacy Paulson, Diamond doTERRA wellness advocate for those who have just joined our webinar. So let me start off with Heather Grant. So Heather and I were in a small town together. That's how we know each other. And she lives in central Utah, and she's a mother of 5 kids. And before finding doTERRA, she was in the doctor's office on a regular basis with her children for everything from ear infections to sore throats. So even with insurance, the co-pays added up and the side effects were nasty. She joined doTERRA with the hope that she could use essential oils as her first line of defense within her home and to help other women do the same thing. So she's gained a healthier family and empowerment as a mom by having essential oils in her home. Amanda Winters is my sister-in-law, and she is the mother of 4 awesome kids. And she's super involved with her community and church and is an advocate for complete wellness. And her passion comes from her own experience of dealing with pain for 8 years and with other health problems. And so after searching for years, she found essential oils and noticed a huge change. Then she found doTERRA and noticed that there was a difference in quality. And she has found healing, and her goal is to connect doctors and patients to natural solutions. So welcome, Amanda. And then we have Adrienne Allen, who is just amazing. She's just a sweet friend. And before doTERRA, she was searching for natural solutions for her family's health and emotional concerns, and she had experience with several essential oils that worked very well. This was prior to joining doTERRA. And using those few oils in combination with changing what they ate, she got them out of their health-compromising cycle of overabuse of antibiotics for ear infections. And she joined doTERRA because she saw the power of oils and wanted to learn more, and also she wanted to share answers with other moms. She loves that she can educate and help liberate other moms with knowledge and tools that work. Now she's creating a community of women that support healthy living and natural practices. So welcome everybody to the webinar. We're just going to get going with our first segment. Heather Grant's going to cover this.
Hey everybody, as Stacy said, my name's Heather, and I am so happy to be with you today. With 5 kids, it seems like there's always something going on health concern-wise, and so today I get the pleasure of talking to you about using essential oils in your families, and specifically with your children. So right off, essential oils are so great at helping with sicknesses, but as every mom knows, it's always better if your kids don't even get sick in the first place. So we want to build our children's immune system, and we do that through nutrition and exercise and making sure that they get enough sleep. And in our family, we found essential oils to be extremely useful in strengthening our immune systems. So we've noticed just that as we've been using essential oils, we actually get sick a lot less. Or if we do get sick, it's less severe or for a shorter duration of time. So essential oils have really, really helped our family. The first blend I'm going to talk about today is a blend called On Guard. It has things like wild orange and clove and eucalyptus in it. And it's a blend that was specifically designed for killing germs and for helping to build and strengthen our immune system. So one way we use that is to diffuse that On Guard in the air. And then as we put that On Guard in the air, it really eliminates those airborne threats and kind of cleans and purifies the air. So especially when there's sicknesses going around school or in our community, we just want to make sure that that air in our home is clean and germ-free. doTERRA also makes a great product. It's called On Guard beadlets. They're super tiny for really little children. So even really small children can swallow them and get that oil in their system to just kind of help that immune support. Another product we love in our home is the On Guard Cleaning Concentrate. We use this to clean with. So we use it to wipe down high chairs and doorknobs and countertops. And it's really great to know the On Guard is just as effective killing germs and sanitizing surfaces as something like Clorox wipes would be, only without all of those harmful chemicals and toxins. So I'm one of those mean moms, and I actually make my kids do a lot of the cleaning. And so it's just really great as a mom to know that I can send them with that On Guard to clean. And not only is it going to be effective, but it's also safe and non-toxic. Another product that we love is the On Guard Foaming Hand Wash. So this is probably one of my favorites. So as we know, hand sanitizers and things like antibacterial soaps can actually be really bad. So they can strip our skin's natural protective layer. So in many cases, they do more harm than good. And so we want to be able to kill those germs, but still keep that skin's natural protective layer in place. And so there's actually several studies using On Guard to clean surfaces. And once a surface has been cleaned with that On Guard, it continues to keep killing germs for around 3 hours. So even if you introduce new germs to that surface, the On Guard is going to continue to kill those germs. So it's great as a mom to know that if I wash my kids' hands before I send them to church or to school or wherever they may be, that On Guard is going to continue to fight those germs for several hours and really protect them. So love that. As we know, nutrition is also such a really important part in building up our immune system. So the doTERRA makes two great products, the A to Z chewables and the IQ Megas. And as we talked about earlier, up to 85% of our body's immune system is actually in your gut or your digestive system. So I'm sure none of your children are picky eaters, but at my house, we really struggle sometimes to make sure they get the proper nutrition. And so the great thing about the A to Z chewables is that not only do they have all of the vitamins and the minerals that our children's bodies need, but they're also packed with tons of superfoods. So the ingredient label on the back actually has things like, it has beet greens in it, and pineapple, and spinach, and broccoli, and all of these things that if I put it on a plate, my kids would probably never touch it. But because it's in that A to Z chewable form and it tastes really great, my kids love them. At our house, they actually think they're candy. So it's kind of been a bonus. They really do love them. The IQ Megas are another awesome supplement, and it's so extremely important. It has the omega-3 fish oils in it. So your children need those. They need them on a daily basis. So the doTERRA ones are actually wild orange flavored. So they taste great, and as well, you can just put them on a spoon and give it to them that way. At our house, we do lots of fruit smoothies. That's my mom's way, like sneaky way of sneaking the spinach into their diet. And so I actually just put a couple of tablespoons of the IQ Mega in the blender as well, and then just blend that up, and it's just part of their breakfast kind of thing. So it's so important as our children's brains are growing and developing to have those omega-3s in their diet, and especially to help them as they focus and they concentrate as they're learning in school. And then just also it's a great help as far as controlling mood management as well. So this is the Natural Solutions Kit, and it is by far one of my favorite kits for moms. If you'll notice, it has the diffuser that we talked about earlier as well as that On Guard blend in it. So it's fabulous. It has just lots of great blends. One of the blends we love is a blend called Breathe, and it can be used to assist with all things respiratory, so things like cough and congestion, allergies. I have a son who has severe allergies, and when those allergies take place, then that triggers an asthma attack. And so we've been able to use Breathe oil to control his asthma, and that's been really great, just not to have to use the steroids or the inhalers, but to be able to manage that naturally. Another blend we love in this kit is Digest Zen, so it's really great to assist with all things digestive. So it's really great as a mom. It seems like somebody always has something digestive going on. So it's great for upset stomachs, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, acid reflux, stomach flu, just all of those, all things tummy kind of thing. With summer coming up, we use a lot of Terra Shield in our house. It's a natural insect repellent. It's also included in this kit. Just to kind of keep those bugs away, especially with West Nile virus around. The kit also includes all of the basic things, so things like lemon and peppermint. One of my all-time favorite summertime oils is lavender, so it's great to help with things like sunburns and bug bites and bee stings and blisters. So this is just a great kit all the way around to have the basic things that you need to get started in caring for your family naturally. Quick story, about 2 weeks ago, my kids were playing outside, and my son threw a rock at my daughter, Devry, and she came into the house, was screaming hysterically. And there is kind of a picture here coming up that shows my daughter and her head wound. So kind of a scary thing as a mom to have her come in and have that gash in her head. We actually live, my first thought, you can see it there at the bottom left, so I'll just apologize if it makes you kind of nauseous, but it was super scary to see as a mom. We actually kind of live in the middle of nowhere, just a little tiny town, and so our nearest ER is over 30 minutes away. And my sister-in-law just said, hey, can we try some oil stuff naturally? And we pulled out my oil kit, and one of the first oils that we actually used was Serenity. And Serenity is very, very calming, and we actually just took the lid off the bottle and gave that to her to breathe in so that she could calm down. And then as she was able to kind of calm down and relax, we were able to start working on her head. And so we used just a couple of drops of Melaleuca, which is antiviral and antibacterial. to kind of clean and sanitize that wound, and then we used a couple of drops of helichrysum. So helichrysum is an amazing oil. It immediately helped that bleeding to stop. With a head wound, as you know, they kind of bleed like crazy, and as soon as we got that helichrysum on, immediately just noticed a difference. The bleeding kind of subsided. So we were able to use some super glue, just a couple of drops of super glue to kind of glue that wound back together. So I don't know, like I said, I'm from a small town, so we use duct tape or super glue for everything. But we use that super glue just to kind of be able to put that wound back together. And then it had already started to swell, and so we were able to apply frankincense and kind of layer with frankincense to bring that swelling down and make sure that there was no bruising. So just my personal belief is that doctors are such wonderful, like awesome people. But it was so nice to be able to have something that was extremely effective in helping with that head wound, and also very inexpensive. So in the past 2 weeks, we spent probably less than $5 on oils versus what it would have cost us to go to the ER. And then also probably a follow-up doctor visit to check that head wound again and remove those staples. So it was just a great experience to be able to have the tools we needed to help her right from our own home. So as you can see, the latest picture was taken just a couple days ago, and she's feeling great. So that's kind of a neat thing to see. So 2 tools that you need to be effective to take care of your family naturally is having the oils in your home, and then also information. So the more oils you have in your home, the more options you're going to have, the more success you're going to have in being able to take care of your children. And then also just being able to have that Modern Essentials book, a copy for yourself at your fingertips, and then just logging onto those websites and having that support as well. So in addition to being able to use essential oils with sickness and health concerns, they're really great in assisting moms to have those tools that they need to support their children. So as they're super active and are involved in sports and other activities, I will let my great friend Amanda tell you a little bit about that.
I'm so excited to be here today and to really discuss the stage of life that my family is in. I have 4 children, and they all play sports. And so one of the number one things that I have them do is to take the vitamins. I know Stacy had mentioned a long time ago, and everyone else throughout this webinar have hit on the lifelong vitality and how important they are. As you are playing sports or exercising or other activities where you're using your body, they are great support for your body. And so they are a definite must in being able to reduce inflammation and other things. A big part of playing sports that I've noticed with my children is they need extra confidence. When they get in situations where they're under a lot of pressure, sometimes they can shut down. The oil that I have found that works great for this is bergamot, because bergamot, if it's applied over the heart, actually shows or actually supports self-confidence. There are many things that my kids carry in their bags when they go to sporting events. This picture is a great one because it shows many things. We need our water bottles. We definitely need the lemon and stuff to support our bodies. The deep blue rub, I actually had to limit my kids on that because they were sharing the oil so much that they were going through the deep blue rub like it was growing on trees. So I had to limit that a little bit. But that is great to be able to help with those sore muscles or sprains. Terra Shield and On Guard. Heather just talked about the On Guard, and I love, love, love On Guard. You wouldn't think that it is an oil for sports, but I have found that it really protects your kids. Just like it protects us from germs and stuff, it protects us emotionally. So if they have a coach that yells at them a lot, or if they have fans that are being unruly, having On Guard on them before they play is a great option for that. Also, Terra Shield. It's just like putting a shield on them before they play, that they are same way protected from the coaches yelling at them or the fans. Sometimes we have injuries as we play sports, so some oils that are great for sprains are lemongrass and white fir, just applied to the area. If we overwork our muscles, white fur just applied to the muscles and eucalyptus will help us. We definitely want our kids to have energy, especially when they have tournaments, or, you know, if you play sports yourself, then we need to support our bodies. And in my experience, teenagers aren't always the best at thinking about how they're going to support their bodies all day. The Mito 2 Max that's on that picture is a wonderful product that helps with endurance and stamina and will keep their bodies energetic and being able to perform what they are putting their bodies through to reduce the inflammation, going back to the lifelong vitality. That's going to be a huge key in reducing inflammation. Also, to be able to put basil and marjoram on your knees or your back or your shoulders or your elbows or whatever that is affected by consistent movement is a great way to do it. A huge part of sports is not only the skill set, but we definitely need to be able to help with the mindset. And like I shared in the beginning, that bergamot helps with self-confidence. There's definitely an aspect of sports and life in general related to our mood and our mind. If we want to be successful in all areas of our lives, we definitely need to address the mood and mind aspect of all the activities of our lives.
Thank you, Amanda. This is Adrienne speaking. And as Amanda pointed out, when we look at the health of the whole child, we cannot ignore their emotional health. It's so intertwined with physical well-being. And today, I want to give you a simple tool to assist you in the management of your children's emotions. It is helpful for children with both minor and more severe emotional dysregulation. So this tool is the mood management matrix you see on your screen. It was developed by Dr. Hill, the Chief Medical Officer of doterra, and I recommend printing it out and posting it where you can continually refer to it. Then, as you learn the 4 mood management oils and when to use them, you and your child can start to feel the very immediate and beneficial power of the oils. The 4 oil blends are Serenity, Citrus Bliss, Elevation, and Balance, and all of them are used aromatically and topically. I'll give you a few ideas of how to use them as I continue, but I want to impress upon you that you have the power to be creative in how you incorporate them into your lives. Okay, so let's look at the matrix. You'll notice the horizontal and the vertical arrows that intersect and form 4 quadrants, representing the 4 states of dysregulation. So the horizontal axis shows the emotional extremes and polar opposites. On the left, we see lack of peace. That's what anxiousness is. And on the right, we see passionless, which is really being flatlined and having no drive. And then you'll notice the vertical axis that shows the physical extremes. On the bottom, there's stress, which is when the body is always in overdrive. And on the top, we have fatigued, which is where our bodies are just completely out of energy. So I'm going to talk about each of these 4 quadrants and what that looks like, what your child looks like in that mode, and then what oil you can use to manage that emotional state. So quadrant 1 is the upper left-hand corner, and that is when we have a combination of no peace and fatigue. So emotionally, the child can be impatient and angry, and physically they may have stomach ache or headache. And what does this child look like? They're grumpy, short-tempered, intolerant, irritable, and exhausted by these emotions because they consume all their energy. too much is going on in their head and they are worn out. The oil blend to use in this circumstance is Serenity Calming Blend. As its name suggests, it's calming, soothing, alleviates anxiety, and helps ease nervous tension. I personally love to use this blend on my kids at nighttime in a back or a foot massage. It helps their minds to stop racing and allows the body to relax and enter a deep, restful sleep. At any time during the day, it can help your child relax and not always be revved up. You can put it in a spray bottle with water to spritz the air. It's particularly helpful for children with ADD and ADHD or the child that's high-strung and anxious. It helps promote sleep and calms tantrums. Okay, so let's look at quadrant number 2. It's in the upper right. This is a combination of fatigue and no passion. So emotionally, the child is unmotivated and discouraged, and physically, they may have brain fog or chest tightness. And what does this child look like? This child is really flatlined. It's hard to get them to do anything. They're always bored. They're immovable, apathetic, don't have space to take in feedback. They also don't have much to give. You may be able to envision a teenager in a hoodie, totally checked out and just kind of hiding from life. Don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They seem depressed. Or the child may be difficult to motivate or engage in activities. So the oil blend to use in this circumstance is Citrus Bliss, the invigorating blend. So this blend helps invigorate the child, alleviating anxiety and promoting physical energy. It also helps ease nervous tension. It has antidepressant qualities as well. So this is one that I love to diffuse. And we like to also breathe it from our hands or put it in our bath water. It's also a helpful one before certain activities like homework. All right, let's look at quadrant number 3, the lower right. That's the combination of passionless and stress. So emotionally, the child is hopeless and withdrawn, and physically, they have chest tightness or lower back pain. And what does this child look like? There's a lot of inner conflict going on here. And the conflict occurs because without passion or motivation, getting things done or performing in many capacities becomes very stressful and frustrating. Others may feel frustrated with the child as well, wondering why it seems so hard to light a fire under them or engage them. There's an overall lack of hope. Their mindset may be these types of expressions. It's always this way. I'm never going to be able to. I can't. Or you are always. So the oil blend I like to use here is Elevation, the joyful blend. It's inspiring and boosts passion to make desires happen. It's encouraging as well, helping give a positive outlook and hope for the future. This oil, is because it contains citrus as well, has antidepressant qualities. It relieves stress and invokes cheerful feelings. And our family likes to breathe this one in from our hands or put it in our bath water, and sometimes we diffuse it. And we found that it's very good at helping us to move on from things. Instead of feeling stuck in what has been, we feel like we can act and create wonderful things in our lives. Okay, so the last quadrant is number 4, and it's in the lower left. And this is the state of dysregulation where we or the child is stressed out and there's no peace. So emotionally, the child is tense or worried, and physically may have digestive upset or neck pain. And generally speaking, the child in this state may be flying off the handle or going crazy, too much energy, perhaps agitated or upset about apparently nothing. And their body is in go mode, but the mind is not in sync with the body in the moment, worrying about things that have been or might be, and the child also might be inflexible. So the blend we like to use in these circumstances is Balanced Grounding Blend. It creates feelings of being grounded and balanced. Think of a tree that is both rooted and flexible in the wind. And that's what you feel like when you use the Balanced Blend. It also is consoling and reassuring, helps with feelings of anger or upsetness, helps with a positive attitude, helps release emotional blocks. This is one that we have in roller bottles and we use daily. It's great on the bottoms of the feet, the back of the neck, or down the spine. In the mornings, it sets things right for the day. In the evening, it's also great for bedtime massages. It combines well with Serenity and is particularly good at calming the upset child or the out of sorts child, great for kids on the autism spectrum. So with all of these different states of dysregulation or these quadrants that we've outlined, in real life, children can flip-flop between these quadrants, and often in response to them, we can too. So all of the principles that I've just outlined can apply to moms as well. We can use the same tool for ourselves. But you'll notice as you start to observe more, you'll see patterns, and you'll start to understand what works for your child. Also, your children will learn what works for them, and they do this intuitively. They're drawn to what their body and minds need. I like to leave oils where they are accessible, and I help children learn to apply oil to themselves using the rollers. And something important to keep in mind is never to force an oil on a child. Let them choose what works for them or where to apply it on their body and honor their process. Because time is out, I want to make a quick mention of several other blends that may be helpful to you. The first is In Tune Focus Blend, and this assists a child's efforts to remain calm and focused on desired tasks. The second oil is Clary Calm, particularly good for teenage daughters. It helps calm emotions and physical symptoms associated with PMS. And then the last blend I want to mention is not made by doTERRA, but you can make it yourself from doTERRA oils. It's called Peaceful Child Blend, and it helps with hyperactivity, ADD, ADHD, emotional trauma, fear, stress, anxiety, behavioral and cognitive disorders, and other neurological disorders. And all of the oils in this blend are calming, soothing, and stabilizing to the central nervous system. So thanks for joining us today. Good luck in your emotional adventures, and I know these oils will empower you to make impactful changes in your family.
Thank you so much, ladies. All of that is so informative. It's interesting as we've gone through this process of listening to different segments on this journey through motherhood, and it's all women because we nurture people, to see how our understanding of oils has progressed from just getting a book and getting a set of oils to being able to know all this amazing stuff that they can do. And as you have your own personal experiences, then we're able to share. So in closing up this segment, additional support and getting started, if you are new on here, just contact the person who invited you to this webinar and ask them, how do I get started? Also, discovernaturalsolutions.com has great information, basics of the oils. If you missed our first segment, the introduction to oils, make sure you listen to that replay that you'll be sent. Discover Natural Solutions Facebook group. You can ask to join that. You can post your questions there. We'd love to answer. If you have experiences, share them there. And for those who are wanting to get involved in the business and do this with us, Simply Build Wellness is our team website. So we're going to move on to the next segment.